What's up, guys? AlwaysRogue. So last week I did a zero point 0.5 predictions video, and most of my predictions still stand, but we were operating under the assumption that zero point 0.5 would be announced or we'd get a lot more info end of April, and then it would release pretty quickly after, so like early May is what we're assuming. Obviously, we didn't get that. We have to wait till May 7th for the GGG Live. We have to wait till May 29th for zero point 0.5. So my predictions have changed just a little bit. So let's get into that real quick. I'm using the same slides that we used last time, but I made some updates. So my prediction was that the Infinite Atlas stays, and I think it will stay. We see the burning monolith. We see this towery type of look. I think the Infinite Atlas does stay. It just gets overhauled. And the main point is I think we get a Pinnacle boss quest line. Maybe. I think that sounds pretty cool. I'm glad to see the Burning Monolith is still there. I'm glad to see that there seems to be some kind of emphasis on traversal and towers or buildings or things you have to encounter. We still don't know for sure, but that's what I think. So I'm going to double down on this and say I think the Infinite Atlas stays. Let me know what you guys think about that. I know some people were expecting like a complete overhaul. I think this is better, actually. I want the Infinite Atlas to stay. I just want it to be better. So prediction 2, I'd said side mechanic buffs, essences, strong boxes, rogue exiles, Esmeri spirits, etc. Why do I call them side mechanics? Because they don't have a pinnacle boss tied to them. They don't have an individual Atlas tree. Of course, the Atlas tree overhaul is going to address this as well, but I think they're going to get buffed to make them feel like their own mechanics where you can specialize on their own. So initially, my next prediction here, I said there would be no new class or weapon. I was 50-50 on this. I could see it going either way. The argument was the remaining classes are the Shadow, Duelist, Templar, Marauder. These are classes that existed in PoE 1. Maybe it's easier to port them over, so we didn't have to wait every 2 leagues like we've had so far, where 0-2 we had the Huntress, 0-4 we had the Druid, no classes in between. But because these are PoE 1 classes, where they already have a class design or philosophy in their head, I was thinking it was more 50-50. But now, with the push on the release date to May 29th, I think this is much more likely. So I'm like 70-30 on this, and I'm kind of iffy about making a full prediction saying that there will be no new class. I'm actually leaning more towards the idea that there will be a new class. And I think most likely one of those new classes will be either the Gladiator, which check out my video if you haven't already, where I talked about the new names of the classes, not Duelist, Gladiator, and I know DM did a video on this recently too, and he pointed out the same thing on the PoE2 website, which is funny because I just had posted that video a few days before, but who knows, maybe he has a different source. Maybe this is already known. But anyways, I think it's going to be the Gladiator because I think a lot of people want swords in the game. But of course, AlwaysRogue. I want the assassin in the game. Daggers would be awesome. More dual wielding, the better. I just want dual wielding. That's all I care about. So let's see. But now I'm leaning towards, I'm changing this prediction, that we'll have a new class. 70-30 on it still, but I can see it going either way. Prediction 4, missing ascendancies. I still think Monk and Ranger's ascendancies are going to come out because they were classes since 0.1, since the early access release. I think those are going to be prioritized. Huntress, I know it got data mined, the Wild Speaker or whatever it's called. I'm like 50-50 on that. And the Druid, I'm still unsure about it. I don't think, especially if they add a new class and this endgame overhaul, I don't think they're going to just spit out all the ascendancies altogether. But if I had to make my guess, my true one prediction, I think the Monks, Martial Artist comes out. I think the Rangers, Arcane Archer comes out for sure. The other two, I think we'll wait a little bit for that. New skills for existing weapons. I talked about this last time I did my predictions. I think this is the same thing. I think we're going to get new skills, especially towards the bottom end, right? You have Wind Serpent's Fury in this image that I have right here. Used literally for 1 league with Lightning Spear Deadeye. Really, really, really fun skill. But once they did the change with the Frenzy Charge, completely dead skill. Why is that? So I'm sure these skills are going to get overhauled, and we're going to get new stuff towards the bottom end, the tier 13 skill gems, tier 11 skill gems, etc. for existing weapons. Prediction 6, I'm still going to stick with my prediction that Temple does not go core, but talking with some people in the comments section of my previous video, they made some good points, and this is one point I already had, which is the unless rework. And I think the rework is the key way they can make it. So some people talk about making a smaller temple size, like an 8x8 or something like that. Or once you build your full temple, it goes away and it's smaller. Something more easier for people to kind of work with so it can go core. I don't think they'll have time to fit it in this patch, even though, yes, they did delay it, and it seems like it's going to be a really, really big patch. I think this is something they'll revisit when it comes to 1.0 release. So I don't think, but I'm now 50-50 on this because people made some good points. Let me know, what do you guys think about Temple? If they were to rework it so it fits the core game, what do you think they should do? I didn't experience Temple so much. I didn't play it too much, so I'm not as qualified to speak on this, but let me know. Prediction 7, new league mechanic. So I talked about how I don't think there will be delve or heist or anything like that. I put a please heist only because I like heist and I would love it to come to the game. But I don't think these outside mapping mechanics are going to be added to the game. I don't think it's going to be an outside mapping thing. I think it's going to be an in-mapping thing because obviously they're doing the end game overhaul. So because they're doing the end game overhaul, they want us to test the mapping, test the Atlas traversal, test the pinnacle boss encounters, blah, 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 blah. They're going to want us to do that. So I think it's going to be an in-mapping thing. And one prediction I had, well, actually not a prediction, in one of my previous videos, I talked about reworks on all the existing PoE 2 mechanics. And I said one of the biggest things they should rework is how a lot of these mechanics are copy-pasted from PoE 1. Ritual plays exactly the same. Expedition plays exactly the same. Breach plays exactly the same until they updated it to Breach 2.0 in PoE 1. So do we get Breach 2.0 in PoE 2? Do we get Beasts? Do we get a PoE 1 mechanic rework so it feels fresh to play in PoE 2 and doesn't feel like the same exact mechanic between both games? I hope so. But if I had to guess for sure, my sitting on the fence kind of guess is it's just going to be a PoE 1 mechanic that's integrated in mapping. So that should be fun. And the final point, prediction 8, same thing, closer to 1.0 release. I don't think they're going to do a 0.6 anymore. So what I said is for sure they're going to add Act 5. I think they're going to add Act 5 still. I'm still very certain about that. Trial of the Ancestors, I think they're going to add that. I'm very certain about that too. Like, this is a solid prediction, locked in since the last time I did the video. The only thing I'm changing about this is I don't think they're going to do a 0.6. I think we could see a 0.5.1, maybe even a 0.5.2. So these like mini kind of updates within the league to hold us over and give something fresh or enable new builds, some balancing. But I think 1.0 is around the corner, guys. And if I had to guess, I think they're going to do a end of the year release or maybe a beginning of next year release. But I think it's coming pretty soon, somewhere around that time, December, January. So let me know what you guys think. Yeah, I know it's kind of recycled content, and I made a video on predictions last week, but that was before we got the teaser trailer. Now that we have that and we have the release date for the new league, I had to update some of my predictions. But we'll have some new content coming soon. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know if the teaser, the release date announcement, changed any of your predictions. Let me know what they were in the comments. Please click the subscribe button. Peace.